Speaking of Station 19, Finns would always see the finished, polished shots, but were there any behind the scenes things that weren't so glamorous that you haven't shared before?
I was actually looking through a ton of photos, anything that wasn't glamorous. I mean, when we in the early days had the really heavy turnout suits and the real fire, like those days were gross. Like I loved it, but like we're covered in sweat, our bodies ached, we stunk. Like you can't get that in the picture, but we all smelled. Horrible. Um, but less glamorous. I don't know. It was really such an amazing experience. Let alone you're playing such badass characters. All of us were. Like it's fun and it was good energy. I don't know. I don't think there was anything not glamorous besides like the gritty stuff when it came to firefighting, really. Because I mean, listen, I wasn't playing, Lena in Bound. I wasn't wearing Gucci and high heels. We were gross and dirty and like, you couldn't have nice nails. So, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So that would I guess say is the not glamorous side of it. And then, I mean, as an actor, hours of anything, and once you do a job for so long, it's weird. They tell you this, but I never experienced it until Station 19. Is you're playing a role for so many years that you almost start to get like, well, what am I doing now? Or you get kind of complacent, or you're trying to find ways to challenge yourself because you're kind of getting bored. We got very lucky that we gave Maya something, but
She was
it
constantly in
happened.
pain, like
She was going through
physically,
it.
mentally, emotionally.
Constant. But I have to say, in the end, there, she kind of was like, okay, I'm good. Like, I kind of was like, okay,
She came out on the other side, yeah.
she did.
So there were a lot of emotional and spicy scenes between characters. After the director says cut, like, what do you do? Do you just be like, "Oh, good job," like, "Yeah, high five." Like, what do you say?
That one was great.
It all depends on the actors. I mean, me and Stefani would always, obviously, we had such a great dynamic, and we would just laugh and have a good, like something would always go wrong. If like it's great if you can laugh about something like you bump teeth or you like something's not sexy about it or like. But then there's some days where you kind of like they say cut and you're like, did you guys get it? Was that sexy? Was that hot enough? Like, are you sure it worked? Try it again. I think I could put my hand on her butt and that'll look better. Like, make sure to catch the wait, it's still funny. Is that okay? So you're kind of like, it is a job. So you're taking, it's not like you would be kissing someone you love. Like, it is very much a job. Um, and so but it's different. Stefani and I were like that. I have other people I've worked with that like one person just couldn't stop profusely sweating. Like they just like poor person. Like I felt so bad for them. I was like, are you okay? Like it's okay. Like nothing's happening. It's fine. um, and so you have that, you have people that get nervous. And so you're kind of trying to, between takes, be like, how was that for you? Does that make you feel comfortable? You also like, it's why intimacy coordinators are a thing now, because you want to make sure the person you're having the scene with feels comfortable. So it varies person to person as to what happens when they say cut. I mean, unless people are actually dating on set, I've never seen people like continue to make out after the call. Like I've never seen that. But yeah, I mean, you just want to make sure everyone's comfortable and having a good time. And the thing is, it's like so ridiculous that this is part of our jobs, right? Like, listen, like some of these scenes are crazy. Like you're not fake humping, you are humping the person or grinding or whatever, making moaning noises and stuff like that. And you have to take yourself seriously. Like you can't laugh. So you're hugging this line of like, okay, I have to believe this as an actor is happening, but I also am, it's not happening. Um, so it's a weird job that we do for sure. But you learn to have fun with it. Just make sure everyone's comfortable.
I was wondering, because we never saw the Station 19 blooper reel,
Oh,
if
I know.
there was one and it was just of you, Maya, what would be in it?
A lot of me saying fuck.
I told you.
That's what Nakaya said.
Yeah. Yeah, I said, because I was, me again, we'll say the Virgo thing. If anyone hasn't caught on, I am a Virgo. Is I always, and I'm sure you guys have heard this, I come to set super prepared, like super prepared. But there's days when your just brain doesn't want to work. And so usually if I did it wasn't like other people who would actually be like clowns on set. And so their blooper reels were like them doing funny stuff. Mine was basically always fuck, shit, fuck. What was like, it was usually me going up on a line and usually cussing which obviously is an issue when there's kids on set. I had one kid that was like, "You owe me $1." I owed him so many times, and I was like, "No, I'm not paying." But yeah, I always want to be funnier. Like I always want to be the one that's not, that's making some funny joke on camera, but no, it was never me. So yeah, that would be, and I wish that blooper reel had come out. I really don't. I don't understand why we can't just do it. It's one of those things like ask for, what is it saying? Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Mhm.
Because I think
I love that.
if we ask for permission, it'll be a hard no. But if we post it, I love that I'm saying this on a podcast that's public. But if we just post it and then we get in trouble, like the worst that happens is what, you have to take it down? Like it's
Right.
already kind of out there.
That's true.
But obviously we're all scared. No one wants to get sued.
Valid.
Right.
So there is a particular scene between Maya and Karina that
Oh
fans
boy.
fans went insane over. Like, I probably saw that scene at least 20 times a day for at least a good 3 months. But it's episode 709 when Karina is licking Maya's stomach. Um, don't tell me you forgot.
No. Oh, I remember. So, but 709, wasn't that Tessa's episode? Yeah, Tessa Blake directed that one because that was our second to our last episode before the finale,
Mhm,
correct?
mhm.
Yeah, because we only had 10 episodes in the last season.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. I remember the episode. I was thinking of the director to get myself in the headspace as to what the question might be. But yes, continue.
Were you guys, like, given free range, or was that choreographed, like, into the script or something?
No. That was not in the script at all. I mean, I always say that, and then I should check because sometimes I say that and I'm like, it was definitely not in the script. I don't think it was in the script. I think we kind of talked it through. Tessa is someone as a director you feel really comfortable with. So when we were kind of doing it, I remember at least my motivation was like, we need to make this as sexy as possible. And I can't remember if there was like, it was more Maya playing Karina is what we would see on camera versus. And I actually think I remember before that episode, I said, can we reverse it so that Karina's pleasuring Maya in this scene? And I remember that because I think it just hadn't happened in a really long time. And they were like, yeah. And then it's Stefania. So, she made it
Yeah.
sexy. She knows what looks good on camera. That girl is, as we all know, she's like, I know what's going to be sexy. Where they call cut and I'm like, was that sexy? Did it look sexy?
Me.
That girl just freaking, oozes sexuality. So she licked my stomach. I was like, okay. I feel like I want to ask Stefania how that went because she might have a different interpretation. Maybe Tessa mentioned to do it or something. Because I think what I was saying at the beginning is Tessa's someone you feel so comfortable with that I'm sure Tessa might have pitched an idea for us. So I can't remember if Tessa pitched it because I know the shot was like her coming up, So I know that like there was that element. So I wonder if Tessa pitched it or if Stefania just went for it. This has to be a Stefania question as well.
Either way, it was iconic, so.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Maya and Karina, they've had such an impact in the LGBTQ plus community, especially to this day. What do you think about Station 19 got it right? Because I personally feel like that relationship was the first realistic one that I saw in network television and probably ever.
I've heard that. And I mean, I haven't watched all the shows out there and I know there are a lot of other shows that have queer storylines that I think a lot of people resonate with. And I don't know either what exactly it was, like what to put. I do think it was a very authentic interpretation of a relationship. It wasn't used, sometimes it's used to like, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but like some shows, it feels like they're checking a box.
Mm-hmm.
Like the storyline isn't really given the attention it deserves. They make one character gay and they somewhat touch on their storyline, but really it's never an A story. And with Maya and Karina, they really focused on a real relationship and they didn't just use it to try to, I don't know, appease a certain audience. They were like, because do you know what I mean? Like
it wasn't tokenized.
What's tokenized? Yes.
It means like whenever you can tell a show is just trying to check off a box.
Yes. And I feel like that's the one thing I notice in a lot of shows. They are doing it because they're like, oh, we have to fulfill this, whatever. And they definitely, Maya and Karina were not that. They were a fully fledged out relationship couple, that went through ups and downs and you saw it all. And like, I applaud them for really leaning into that because I had no say. I didn't know what they were going to do with when I signed on with the show. So I'm really grateful to have been a part of that. And I'm really happy that ABC is known for that. They're known for pushing the boundaries on a lot of stuff that other networks do feel like they're tokenizing. So I applaud ABC for really being willing to like go, no, let's make this the A storyline for episodes. You know, it's an ensemble cast, but there were episodes that were just basically focused on significantly on that storyline, which I don't see happening in other shows.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, it
The
was important.
last show that really had a great representation was The Fosters. Um,
Ah,
it was such a
interesting.
great show, and it was two moms. They had
Hmm.
foster kids, adopted kids, and um, it was around the time where gay marriage wasn't legalized, and so when it was legalized, the show was still on air, and it was just a whole big thing, and it was so cool. I was in middle school, I think, when I started watching that show, and it definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things that, like, I would have never known about. So,
It's so important. And I think Peter Page was part of the Fosters.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you just need strong leaders behind the camera that are really pushing storylines because you'll actually get people to say yes. I just think so many people are afraid, like, oh God, you know, are we going to like lose, you know, viewership if we focus on these storylines? And Station 19 and Fosters are great examples of like, come on, guys,
Yeah.
have a little bit more courage and telling storylines that matter that we haven't seen before and that we so desperately need to see. So,
Right. Like,
yeah.
you're never gonna be able to please everyone, so might as well do what you want.
No. Yeah. I mean, they have to answer to stockbrokers, so it's a whole different monster that I'll never understand. But I think just like women being behind the camera more, you know, we're making progress. It just sometimes feels like the progress is 10 steps forward, 4 steps back, you know? It's like, can we just have more forward momentum happen and not feel like we have to go back to then go forward again?
It's kinda like
That
the
gets,
Hunting Wives. They have, like, an
yeah.
all-women, like, crew and everything, and
Yeah.
that's amazing.
The Hunting Wives.
I haven't
Have
seen
you
it
seen
yet.
it? Have you seen
I
it?
have seen the first how many episodes? It's only like 6 episodes, I think. I saw the first I auditioned for it. So I had read the pilot when I auditioned for it. Not for they already had known who they were hiring for the 2 lead women,
Uh-huh.
Brittany and I can't say Malin. Is it Malin or Malin?
I think it's Malin.
Is her name Margot in the show?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it
I
is.
haven't
Probably
seen it,
remember.
so I don't know.
The 2 leads, like, they had already cast them, but I went in and auditioned for, another role on the show, and so I read the script, and I remember reading it being like, "Oh gosh, this is" I mean, that first episode, I was like, "Damn."
Oh my gosh.
So I was happy that it was being made, and it's definitely a sexual show that I watched, and even I blushed when I watched it. I'm like, "Damn."
No, I was literally like, "I have to watch this when everyone's asleep in my house." Like, no.
Yeah. You kind of were like, "Is anyone" I
No,
swear I'm
I, like
watching porn. I swear.
I hit
I'm
pause
watching
so fast, I'm like, "Oh my god, volume cannot be up right now."
I'm watching Shameless right now, and
Oh,
I
I
love
love
that. Well,
Shameless.
love it. I'm not done yet. I have like 3 episodes left, but my roommate will be in the living room, and I'm like, the volume will go down. I'm like, I promise, I am not in
Mm-mm.
here
Yeah.
because it's like
Yes. They can
intense.
get graphic. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
noise. But no, Hunting Wives is that one that's really cool that I love when they're successful though. I love when shows that are telling LGBTQ storylines are successful because it just proves that these shows work. Because so many times people just want to tell you when either it was a woman can't direct, you know, a male action, you know, show, or you know, shows that lead with women have women leads can't succeed. Shows that are all about the LGBTQ community can't succeed. And every time you have these things that succeed after somebody said they couldn't is a huge win, like bigger win than I think people don't even realize. Like it's why whenever there's a new like female superhero show that comes out, whether it's Captain Marvel or Black Widow or any of those, as you guys know, I'm like, I have to go support because they're all just, even if I don't necessarily love it, I'm like, it's just a reminder that these things actually work, so they make more of them. So anyways, as uncomfortable as the hunting party sometimes makes me feel because it's so sexual and I'm blushing even saying this, it's really great to have a show like that be so successful. And it's fucking fun to watch. Like that show is so wacky.
Oh my
So
gosh, I could
wacky.
not stop watching. I watched it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I think I have, well, how many episodes is it? Is it 6
I think
in
it's like
total?
8. I think it's 8.
Okay. Then maybe I've seen 5. So I have 3 left to go. I
Oh
haven't
my
seen the ending.
gosh, you have to finish it.
It's next on my list.
You have to finish.
Be prepared. Get your what are they called? Your AirPods or whatever.
Just volume all the way down.
Yeah. Yep.
So, had Station 19 continued, would you have ever wanted more closure between Maya and Mason, or do you think leaving it unresolved resonated more with fans who'd had similar experiences?
I really wanted there to be closure. I fought actually really hard. I'm someone who doesn't tend to once I might pitch an idea, but I don't fight it. But that one I fought really hard. And it was torn in the room between Zoanne and Peter. And there was a lot of like, do we resolve this? Do we not resolve this? There was no time to really have a real resolution. But my pitch was like, can there be in these flash forwards? Can there be one of those shots, whether it's a family photo or whatever, that Mason's in? So people don't have to be like, and make him look completely different than he looks now. So obviously you're saying from a visual standpoint, he's the one that's changed. He's come around. He's not being manipulated and brainwashed into this like white supremacist, thing that he kind of fell down this rabbit hole of. I don't even, because I don't even know how that happened when it happened.
It
I was
was
like, what
so
happened?
random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was like, had it, I want to believe, I wanted to have hope because both Maya and Karina had no one but each other, which is fine. There's many relationships that is all you have. But I really wanted to believe that there could be hope because I do have friends that came out to their family. And yes, some of their family, don't go to their weddings, don't really talk to them, have kind of distant. But then some of their family are like the sister. Weirdly enough, one of my friends' situations is the family didn't show up to the wedding. They don't support their marriage or their life, but the sister will always show up. And so I just think like it gives hope that like eventually people do come around if they're maybe not there at the beginning. And I would have loved to have seen that because I think we need that sometimes. Because I think the fear is for a lot of people when they're thinking about officially coming out, that scary thing that like, that takes some people years. I was talking to someone the other day. It took them 30 years before they finally came out into their adulthood. It's a scary thing. And to go, I want to do this thing. I have to do this thing. But I'm also scared shitless to do this thing because I've seen every representation on a television. And anytime anyone comes out, entire family abandons them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that, because you're not just coming out and living in your truth and your authenticity, you're possibly losing so many people that if you love and you think love you. So I was like, can we just please give the world a little bit of hope? So yeah, that's a very long answer to the question of I would have liked there to be some resolution just in a simple shot. I said, can you guys just shoot it and decide in the editing room? I was like, just have Mason there, just shoot him. Cameron was like, I'll do it. And I was like, he'll do it. Like just a day. Like you don't have to pay him an episode rate. Like just because he cared so much about the character too. So yeah, it would have been nice. I don't know if people have a strong opinion either or. I haven't heard, but my strong opinion was to have.
I
I
think
also would have liked
too,
closure.
yeah, I would have liked closure, but I will say that scene was so good.
I'm glad you guys liked it.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was like insane, like in a good way.
Yeah.
Good.
So talented.
It was
That was
heartbreaking.
he's such a great actor, and I really was excited to work with him again because even though I liked the guy that played him in the flashback, it wasn't Cameron. So I worked with Cameron in season 1 or 2, and then I didn't work with him again until 7. And he's just such a great actor. So I remember when we got that, I was like, let's do it. David, they were gonna split that scene between 2 days, and I was like, you can't do that because the scene is essentially in real time, but it's intercut with scenes that are happening throughout the episode. But it was 8 pages of like a real in the moment scene that's happening. I'm like, you can't stop this one day and then come back the next day and pick up where your momentum was. I mean, you can if we have to, we're actors. Like that's our job. But I really begged and begged and begged and I said, can we please block shoot this and shoot this in one day? And we did. And I'm really glad we did because I think it shows in the performance. It builds, And by the time at the end, when I'm basically saying like, I'm done, and I leave, that felt very real. So I'm glad you guys liked it.
I was wondering, and I'm sorry if you've been asked this before, what was the last scene you shot on Station 19?
The last scene was, the last actual scene was Andy looking at the display case
Mm-hmm.
and looking at her father's picture and walking out. That was the last shot. The last scene was Barrett having to sign under the table. So it was like emotional, if you can imagine. Like so many tears were happening. So it was this big, huge emotional scene. Was that one? Was remember because she gives? Oh my God, you guys, it's so crazy. It's been a year. My brain's like failing me. She gives a speech, right?
Yes.
Because she's leaving because she's going to do Crisis 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so 'cause I'm like needing validation. I'm like, I think that's what happened.
Yeah, it is.
That was our last scene was her giving the speech. And obviously Barrett was just, and which made all of us just bawl our eyes out. That was the last scene that we shot as a team, as a ensemble. And then the last shot was Andy looking at the display case and walking out in that shot that Peter did onto the 19. And that was like all of us were sitting around the monitors while that scene got shot, sitting with champagne, waiting for this to wrap, for him to be happy with the shot, which took a couple, which would have been just one take. But because the camera was doing a very unique move, it took a couple takes. But then after, we just cried and drank champagne and played music. I can't remember what was playing, but it was loud because we were all screaming.
Moving on to Bound, which loved, was amazing, I never actually knew what was going to happen. I was always surprised.
Neither did I, so I'm glad we're on the same.
What was your audition process like? Like, were you given a breakdown, or were you given a script?
I was given nothing. You get a tiny breakdown. You get a tiny breakdown and you get the sides. I didn't have a script. You know what? Let me look it up on my phone while we're talking. I'll actually see I'll tell you exactly what it actually said. When did I book that, guys?
Last
Because I'm
June, July. Last June, July.
Oh yeah, it was June. You're right. June 2024.
Yeah.
So basically the way it works is an audition comes in and it gives me usually just the character breakdown and at least the sides for the character. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Almost there. I'll tell you the exact, I don't know if I can get in trouble for this, but I'll tell you what the exact breakdown was.
We won't tell.
No, that's my first call sheet. We won't tell on the public podcast. So basically usually I'll get the script too. My team's really great at trying to get the scripts, but a lot of times there's such a quick turnaround with self-tapes that you're like, I don't have time to read the script. But I always try to if I have the time. So this one came in, it was the role of Heather, and the only thing I had was magnetic and whip smart lawyer. She wakes up in a cop's bed after a one night stand, but leaves the cop feeling charmed and wanting another chance. That was it, guys. And then did I have the script for this? No, I just had the sides. So I just had the sides. I read them. I gave my interpretation. I was actually in Scotland at the time. And Kevin was filming a show. Sorry, he was filming a Netflix show. And so the morning he had to learn a monologue and I had to do this self-tape, like the life of actors. And so I was like, okay, we had like not a lot of time. So I was like, I know what I'm wearing. I know what I want to do. Here's the camera. You do the crazy thing. I set it on a lampshade. And I was like, I had, 20 minutes, get it done. Run the lines a couple times, record it and done. And then I helped him with his monologue before he had to go to set. What's horrible is that I realized when you guys, because we're so used to vertical, right, with our phones, what I realized with this audition is that I filmed it in vertical, where all self-tapes have to be filmed in landscape.
Oh, no.
So I thought it was going to be this quick, like, upload it to my computer and done, right? So if anyone knows with editing, I had to then, like, play with it. And in the end, it's so zoomed in on my face. Like, ever since then, I've been like, maybe I just need to zoom in my face more to get another job because I couldn't fight the fact that I had shot it vertically. So I just had to zoom in and literally was like,
that's
close.
my biggest
extreme close.
But I booked it. So I was like, okay. But yeah, that was like the one thing I realized. I love that you got it. You're like, oh no. So yeah, that was my audition process. And then a week later, I got the call. Like they were like, they want to pin you, which means that they're interested in you. They want to know your availability and all that kind of stuff. And then I booked it. And then the rest is history. I didn't know how big of a character she was going to be. I just knew that she was going to be a major reoccurring character. So I just knew that.
Do you think that Lena is a villain, survivor, or kind of somewhere in between?
I think she's a survivor. I think she's definitely a survivor at the hands of her brother. I think she plays villain really well, but I think deep down at her core, like she wasn't born that way. She became this person because he groomed her to become this person. And I think what you got to see in talking with the creator a lot was what you got to see when you kind of started to peel back the layers of Lena is you'd start to go, oh, she actually wants love. She wants to know what real love is because her only version of love so far is to be this kind of conniving, manipulative person that her brother wants her to be. So, I always viewed her as more of a survivor, but did I enjoy playing the villain? Absolutely.
I think she was badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun to play the villain. And then, Nkechi, NK, the creator, would give me those scenes where literally she would be like, no, like you actually you have feelings for, Boots, you really actually marked friends. You really want to be with him. You've caught feelings, which is an unusual feeling for her. So it was fun that she did that because she could have just said, nope, be a villain, be a bad person. We're going to kill you. We're going to put you in jail, be done with you. And instead she gave from way more layers than I thought she was going to have.
It was impossible, like, to hate her for doing what she was doing. Like, I was like, "You know what? Sometimes we have to support women's wrongs. Like, it's fine."
Like, she kidnapped Jamie. Okay, well, what was he doing? He should have been more aware about his surroundings.
Like,
I did laugh at how many people like justified her actions. And I was like, guys, but I have to say, part of me loves to always root for like, the badass bitch and like the sexy clothes. I'm like, yes. I disagree with everything you're doing, but you look good doing it.
right, like
Fictional character. So yes.
since Found ended on a cliffhanger, what do you think happened with Sir? Like, do you think Lena is the one who caused him to get hurt?
Ooh, good question. I mean, I was so shocked when I read the end of that episode and he's like on the floor bleeding out. I don't know if she caused him to get. That isn't my first instinct. My first, I think, instinct was that like someone in the prison did it that he pissed off. And my first thing was like, from a business standpoint, you're like, oh, they have renegotiating to do. So like, let's pretend we're gonna kill characters and like we can bring them back and if they behave and agree to a contract. That being said, I didn't know who had done that. I just, in my mind, was like, oh, he's definitely going to survive. And now he's going to be working with the FBI and Lena's going to be the one behind bars. Or I was like, if Mark Fall, which I don't ever see that happening, Sir didn't come back, then Lena's the one that has to basically take over for Sir and what he was able to do because she's the closest to what his talents were, I guess, to kind of help with solving cases. So, but I didn't think that was ever going to happen. I just thought, I didn't know what they were going to do with her, but I don't know what ended up happening to Sir. I didn't really have an opinion on it because I didn't think the show was going to get canceled.
Well, I was wondering because we were at the viewing in London, and we like,
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 guys, what kills me is like, okay, so we did it, right? So I do the screening and then I'm at the hotel and I'm like, how rude. Literally, I just did a screening, like completely shocked. But what's even funnier is then after that, no one talked about it. Like, I
No.
think I needed to start talking about it because everyone was so nervous. And I'm like, guys, it's okay. You can talk about it. It's part of the job.
well,
But
yeah,
We were so,
everyone was silent.
no, we were like,
we were,
we were on our way to dinner.
we were. Yeah, we were at the Uber, and I think whoever we were with, like, was like, guys, and we were like, what? And they showed us the Deadline article.
And we all
And
went,
then
and got
we
on
were
our
like-
phones.
we were like, so is somebody gonna, like, bring it up? And, like, nobody brought it up. I don't know if they thought it was just, like, if they brought it up, it was just gonna
Make you cry
like,
or something.
yeah, like, I don't know.
I finally had to tell people because like the whole summer was like that. So no one brought up Found again, really, because everyone was like so nervous to bring it up. And I was like, I had to start saying, I was like, you guys can talk about Found. Like,
Aw.
we talk about Station 18. All these shows eventually end. Was it shocking that Found ended? Absolutely. But it wasn't like, we know what we're doing signing up for this job. Jobs come and go constantly. So
Such a
yes.
shame, though. It was so good.
I really enjoyed it. And so that made me really sad. And from what I knew, it did really well in the numbers. But the truth is like, as much as we're in the entertainment industry and we're creating art, it is a business and it's run by, a room of shareholders. You have to factor that in too.
Yeah.
So something happened. I'll never know, but something happened behind closed doors that made them cancel it.
We picked a
Okay.
few fun, like, fan questions for you to answer.